welcome to another episode of Popcorn Crushers on Gusto TV Africa. My name is Emma and I'm going to be your host for today. And we're going to be reviewing the movie titled Spiderhead. But before going on to what we have for you on today's movie review, I want to say thank you for all you do for us here on the channel. We see all of it. I really do appreciate you. And yes, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, please do not forget to subscribe, and also do not forget to click on the post notification bell so as to know when we drop new videos and also new content for you. All right, so we're going to be talking about the movie called Spiderhead. This movie is more of a scientific kind of movie, like all of the experiments. So in this movie, right, we have a scientist who is actually trying to look for some sort of, should I call it drug? Okay, so I'm going to be calling this thing drug now, but then it's like in a liquid form and they get to like put it behind a person's body. Now what this drug is going to be doing is it's going to be making you see people in a different way, see things that are not even existing. And for this scientist to be able to get this drug, or this drug to actually be accepted by the government and be accepted by people, he has to experiment on people. Like, he has to actually try it on humans, because his target, his market are the humans. So he actually has to try it on humans to see how it's actually going to turn out. So he was doing like a whole lot of experiment with this particular drug in the movie. Now, how does he get these people that he actually gets to experiment on? So he goes out into the world, into the real life, and he looks for people who have committed one offense or the other. That kind of offense, maybe you've killed somebody or you stole, and the government is saying, oh, we're sentencing you to life imprisonment, or you're going to get a death sentence, or you're going to get 20 years in prison. Now what he does is he goes out and gets these people. Now in the movie, they didn't actually show us if he had some kind of agreement with the government, but then he was able to get his hand on these people. There were a whole lot, and majority of them were actually murderers. Like, they've actually had to kill somebody by mistake or intentionally. So he gets these people and he brings them, like he takes them away from anywhere that they get to interact. So he's taking them out of where they're actually humans. So he actually built some kind of underground facility somewhere far away. So he actually brings them to this facility. He gets to house them. There's everything they need, except they cannot communicate with people outside. So there were no phones and all of that. So they were like inside some sort of facility. They had food, there was game, there was literally everything. So now the deal is, you either choose between going to jail, or you choose between coming to this facility and you're being turned to a lab rat. Now they don't get to pierce them with needles or anything. They just put some kind of device behind them. Then they get to insert these fluids and all of that. So that's how he gets to experiment them. But there's this particular guy that he really liked. This guy was like the main lab rat. So he was actually using this guy for more of this experiment. Now, like I said, this particular drugs makes you see people in a different light. So see people in a different light as in how? Now, for instance, a normal human being would not want to get close to a zombie. Talk more of actually making out. But then when they put you in the same room with the zombie, once the drug or this fluid is being activated, it gets into your body, you actually now start seeing this zombie as one very pretty human, like very sexy, like sexually attracted. Like, you get sexually attracted to this particular zombie and you start to make out. Now he tried it like 2-3 times in the movie, where he brings this particular guy who was the main lab rat and another girl. Now he didn't have feelings for this particular girl. He didn't see her as someone he might actually want to have anything to do with. But immediately that fluid was activated and it went into their system, the both of them started saying, man, you look so beautiful, you look so this, you look so that. And before we know, these people started making out. That's actually what this fluid or this drug can actually make people do. Like, it makes people do things they don't want to do, make people just take orders. So now these people are actually going to have like masters. For instance, now like a particular general will just maybe employ like 100 people and have this fluid inserted into their body. Now these guys are just going to do whatever the general wants them to do. Like, it was really, really, really crazy. And it was actually fun, because the movie was just here and there. Like, it took me a while to actually understand what was actually going on. But then if you actually calm down and actually watch the movie, like, take your time. The movie is actually like really, really nice. So yes, we're going to be going through the cast, and I'm going to be telling you a bit about the cast and what they did in the movie. So we have Abnesty, who is Chris Hemsworth, but in the movie he hated it when they addressed him as Chris Hemsworth. He hated it when they addressed him as Abnesty. Sorry. So he's actually the scientist in this particular movie. He was the one, doing all of the experiments. He was the one giving the orders. But he was lying about a whole lot of things that his main lab rats actually found out later, and this actually got him really, really upset. I'm not going to be telling you what he was actually lying about. So if you want to find out what this guy was, lying about and hiding, all you just have to do is go see this movie on Netflix. Then we also have Jeff. The person who played the role of Jeff is Miles Teller. Now, Miles Teller is Jeff, and he was the main, lab rat. He was the main person, the main lab rat. Let me just say lab rat. He was the one they were using all of the, fluids and drugs on. They were using him to test this person and test that person. Like, he was actually very special to Abnesty, like very, very, very special. I don't know why he was actually very special to him, but then he was like the main guy in the movie. And like I said, there was something that Jeff actually found out he actually found out a lot of things that made him really, really upset, and he decided to just, let loose. He was actually very loyal. I would actually call him the loyal lab rat. Like, he was just doing everything Abnesty wanted him to do. But then when he found out these things that Abnesty was actually, hiding, this got him really, really, really upset. And it got him that upset because someone that he actually cared about was now at risk. Then we also have Verlaine or Mark. So you can call him Verlaine or you can call him Mark. And the person who played the role of Verlaine or Mark is Mark Paggio. Now, Mark Paggio is the assistant. He was the assistant of Abnesty. He was the one always working with Abnesty in the facility. He was the one, he was literally doing all of the experiments and taking orders. He was actually a very good guy. According to him, he just wanted to help people because Abnesty told him that this particular drug or this particular fluid is supposed to help people. It's supposed to help people find love. Like, I gave you an instance. You might actually see some girl. Okay, let me even give you that instance with real life. Like, you might actually see a girl that has all of the qualities that you want in a woman, but then she's not beautiful. So if this fluid is being given to you and also given to this girl, okay, let's say now you're now the fine guy and the girl now likes you, but now you see that she has all of the qualities that you want in a woman, but she's not fine. So they will give you the fluid. So every time you see this girl, all you just need to do is just activate it, and you start seeing this girl like one angel. Like, she's going to be extremely, extremely, extremely beautiful. So this was what Abnesty told Jack that the fluid was all about, not knowing that Abnesty had like a totally different thing he was literally chasing. So according to Mark, he just wanted to help people find love. He wanted to help people find happiness. He wanted people to be fine. But then at the end of the movie, there was a whole lot of revelation, and this got Mark really upset. This got Jeff really upset, and they had to call in the cops. Then we have Lizzie, and the person who played the role of Lizzie is Johnny Smollett. Johnny Smollett. Now, Lizzie is the girl that Jeff actually fell in love with. Now, what actually brought Jeff? I'm going to tell you what brought Jeff into the facility. He was drunk one night. He was out actually partying with his friend, his best friend, and his girlfriend. Now, so his best friend just told him that there's another location. You know how guys behave now. They're at this location right now, and there's somebody saying there's another location. Our friends over at the location, they're actually asking us to come over. And he was like, okay, no, well, let's go. His girlfriend didn't want to go with him at first, but then they cannot actually live without each other. Like, they hate being apart from each other. So she was like, okay, do you know what? I'm actually going to go with them. And they, got into the car. And his best friend was asking him, are you sure you can drive? Because he was drunk. And was like, yes, he can actually drive. And they were driving and he was drinking. And they had this accident. And they ran into this tree. And, the accident happened. He was lucky to have, gone out of the car. But his best friend died instantly, even if he pulled him out of the car. But then his girlfriend, who in the movie was named Emma, was stuck in the car. He was trying to pull her out, and he could not. And the car just exploded. So his best friend died and his girlfriend died. And he was, arrested and given his sentence. So that was how he got into the facility. So while in the facility, he he had not gotten over his girlfriend, so he was always giving what they call free Friday. Remember I said that you cannot leave the facility, but because he was special, he was the main lab rat. Now I'm talking about Jeff. He was very, very special, so Amnesty was always giving him Friday. Like this Friday is actually allowed to just go out, see outside. He was even the only guy that was taken outside a whole lot of times, you get, in that movie. So he was really trying to get over his girlfriend. She was actually dead, but he was always going to send her, voicemails, and he was telling her about everything that was happening. So when he started developing feelings for Lizzie, he also went out and told his girlfriend that, there's this Lizzie girl, I like her, and you know what, because I've actually started developing feelings for her, I might not send you voicemails again because I actually want to move on. So like I said, he was developing feelings for Lizzie, and there was something that Amnesty wanted to do to Lizzie that he didn't want to happen, because he has seen this thing happen to someone else and that person died. He didn't want to lose Lizzie. Like, he kept on saying, no, don't activate that thing, and the name of that thing is called darkened flux. Now that darkened flux, once they put it inside of your body, like, you get to start seeing a whole lot of things. You get afraid, like you're not seeing anything, there's nothing in front of you, but because of that fluid, it's making you imagine things. When you're just, for instance, now when you watch a very scary movie and you're just sitting down, and in your mind, you're seeing one witch trying to touch you, or you're seeing one devil trying to draw your ear. So that's how this particular fluid was actually working. And there's a particular girl that they tested it on, and this girl eventually killed herself. So because he has seen what that fluid has done to someone else, he didn't want them to administer it into Lizzie's system. So he kept on saying no. So when Amnesty went ahead to administer, or to actually put that fluid in Lizzie's body, like, it got him really, 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 really upset. And because, like I said, he has found out a whole lot of secrets, found out that Amnesty was actually hiding a whole lot of things, this got him really, really, really upset. And yes, I already told you guys about Emma. Emma, the person who played the role of Emma is Bebe Betancourt. Bebe Betancourt. She was the one who played the role of Emma, and Emma was Jeff's ex-girlfriend, the one who died in the movie. Like, he really did love her. They shared a whole lot of connections. Then we have Heta, and the person who played the role of Heta in that movie is Tess Halbridge. Now Heta is the girl that killed herself because of that particular fluid that was administered to her. That's the darkened flux. Like, they put that thing in her system, and she started feeling some sort of way. She started crying and begging because she didn't know what was wrong with her. Actually, they tried to actually stop that thing from working, but I don't know what happened. It was not working, so it got out of hand, and she actually killed herself. And Jeff blamed himself. Now in this movie, before they administer this fluid into your body, they ask you to acknowledge. Now, for instance, they ask you, oh, do you want them to put this fluid in your system? Instead of saying yes, they use some certain kind of word. So instead of saying yes, you say acknowledge. So they asked Jeff if he wanted them to administer this fluid into Heta's body, and he acknowledged. He said yes, acknowledge. And they went ahead to put this fluid, and she ended up killing herself. So Jeff kept on blaming himself over and over and over and over again. He was really, really, really upset. Then coupled with everything that he found out, and also the fact that he had feelings for Lizzie, they actually started off something really good. And it was because Amnesty knew that Jeff had feelings for Lizzie. That was why he decided to test that fluid on Lizzie. And this particular one got Jeff really, 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 really upset. And he actually had to take, like, he was tired. He was like, you know what, I'm not going to be a lab rat anymore, you're not going to hurt anybody. It was just really, really crazy. And the fact that I already had a murder case, and he came into the facility, and Heta had to die, so it was like, now, so he had actually killed 3 people, and it was just really, really crazy. This guy was really, really, really upset, and he let loose. And at the end of the day, some people had to die and some people didn't have to die, but I'm not going to be telling you all of this. You need to go watch that movie by yourself, because if I give you all of the gist right now, trust me, you will not want to go see this movie. This movie is actually really, 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 really interesting. You need to go see the movie. And please, when you see the movie, come in the comment section and tell us what you think about this movie. Rate it over 10. And if you feel like you have a totally different opinion about, like, totally different opinion from what I've said, you have something different to say, and you want to be here in the studio, please just say so in the comment section. And yes, we'll be reaching out to you, very, 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 very soon. We'll see all you do for us here on the channel, and we really do appreciate you. Bye for now. My name is Ima.